We ask God to watch over the DeMarco family, as well as all of our veterans and their families. Remind us always that freedom, peace, and possibility can and will triumph as America remains one nation under God. God bless America. God bless our veterans. Amen.
The Honor of Veteran program began in 1993 by Congressman McNulty and former County Executive Mike Hoblich. This program continues with the support of the County Executive and Congressman Tonko, who provides a flag that has been flown over our nation's capital for our honored veteran. Now to make some remarks and present a proclamation to the family in honor of Rocco DeMarco, I have the pleasure of introducing a fellow combat veteran who is still serving in the Army National Guard, Albany County Executive Daniel P. McCoy.
He enjoyed cooking. And then you look at the family and you look at the legacy where it goes. The son to follow in the footsteps to be a teacher, to the 3 granddaughters, probably give back every day. It just really shows the person that he was and the impact you have. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a professional or anything. I always say to kids, don't look up to rock stars. Don't look up to politicians. It's your teachers, it's your mentors, it's the people volunteering at the Little Leagues and the basketball, or just volunteering in general, doing extraordinary stuff in the neighborhood when it comes to neighborhood cleanups, when it comes to helping someone take their trash in or mowing their lawn, or helping them with the groceries, or shoveling their sidewalk out in the snowstorm. These are ones you learn from. These are ones that you learn to be a good neighbor, how to be good to people, and how to give back to the community. And that was him. In a nutshell. So it's an honor to stand here to recognize such an extraordinary person. Stand here today to look at this audience, to sit there and go, all these years later, to still have that memory and continue that on and throughout the family. It's an honor for us here in Albany County to recognize such an extraordinary person, such a person that had an impact on the community. So thank you.
He was so young, so young. And when you think about the age at which he was in the Pacific on a ship that was torpedoed, and you shared with me that he survived because he knew how to swim. And not a lot of kids growing up in a city know how to swim. And so, here we are all of these years later. We're building a wonderful new pool because we know how important it is for children to learn how to swim. Rocco's experience is far more dramatic than anything we ever hope anybody experiences. But, to come back and then serve this community in so many ways is a true legacy. And it speaks to what makes a community, what makes a city, what makes any place a great place, a place where people want to live and raise their families.
And I was talking with the county exec just briefly, and I mentioned it to some of the family. He was just 17 when he enlisted. So think about the young men and women who are here today, 17 years old, and then being in the Pacific, as the mayor had alluded to, and being torpedoed when you're 18. And the ship that he was in, that auxiliary oiler, wasn't found for 56 years. Wasn't found till, I think, 2001, somewhere around there in a bay by divers. And he kept going, right? It was torpedoed, but his enlistment didn't end then. The war didn't end then. He continued to fight on, just as he did when he got home. And I'm sure the traditions that were instilled into your family then that he learned are carrying on today, for future generations. And it's a wonderful thing to be a part of, and I'm grateful to be here to celebrate with all of you. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Colonel Schultz and the entire staff at Watervliet Arsenal, we would like to express our sincere appreciation for Rocco's valiant service in the Navy during World War II and his continued service in our community, especially his involvement with our community's youth sports. It is because of patriots like Rocco that we are able to live in a free society, and the example he sets serves as a guide and inspiration for all who follow.
Well, I have to say, I'm blown away. This is amazing. Dad didn't talk much about his experiences unless we asked him specific questions. And I remember asking him one time about if he saw any battles or anything. And he said that one time they were fueling up an aircraft carrier when the Japanese planes attacked. And he said not a single plane got near the aircraft carrier. So he said that was unbelievable with the amount of stuff that was being shot up into the air at those planes. Now, my dad, he liked to gamble. He wasn't very good at it. However, the night before the ship was sunk, he was winning. They had a little gambling thing going on, and he was winning. And he didn't leave the game early. He stayed till the game was over with. And when he went down to his bunk, it was too hot. So he grabbed his stuff, and he went up onto the deck to sleep. So early in the morning, the officer of the deck saw him sleeping there and woke him up and said, "You better get below before the captain sees you." And just then, as he started to head down to go below, the Kaiten submarine, which was a manned Japanese torpedo, kind of like a kamikaze plane, hit the ship. So he got thrown about, and the officer of the deck told him to get to his battle station, so he started running. And he was running to his station, and another officer came back and told him, "Turn around and abandon ship." You know, the ship had just blown up. And the pictures in the back can kind of show you the devastation of what had happened. So he jumped in the water, and the water's on fire, and there's oil everywhere. And there was one of his shipmates who couldn't swim. So he had him, and he was trying to help him out, but flames were starting to, enclose him. So he told his shipmate, and he goes, "We have to go under, and we're going to swim away from it, and we'll come up, and we'll fan the flames away, and we'll be okay." So he went over, and the other sailor panicked and broke free, and he never knew who it was or whatever happened to him. And, that really bothered him for the rest of his life. After my dad died, there was a ship reunion for the Mississinawa in Falls River, Massachusetts. So my family went, and the information about the sinking had been classified because they didn't want the public to know that the Japanese now had manned torpedoes that they were shooting at the ships. So it had recently been declassified. So we found out a lot of information about the ship and the fact that it was missing and it had recently been found, and and where the ship was struck. If my dad was in his bunk, he would have been killed. So he wasn't very lucky at gambling, but he was very lucky that night, as we all were. I think that's about it. All in all, I think my father had quite a life. Coming from a poor immigrant family, losing his dad at a young age, serving his country at a time of war, surviving his ship sinking, marrying my mom and raising a family. He was very active in the community with the coaching and the Knights of Columbus here. He was an usher at church up at VI. And he affected a lot of lives in a very positive way. Well done, Dad.